Hi there, this is Muchaneta here from fashioner.com. I am here with,
Sanne Visser.
I had to make her say her own name. It took us a while to learn how to pronounce it. She's here at the Keyhouse under Sustainable Innovations, and you actually have a very interesting concept. Can you share with the audience what it's about, please?
Sure. Basically, I have created, what I'm showing at the Sustainable Innovations is my project, The New Age of Trichology, and which is about recycling human hair waste. So how we can utilize the human hair waste that we have so much of for material and product design. So the way I've worked is I've created human hair yarn, and from the yarn I make ropes, and from the ropes I make products again. So it's basically an ancient old technique, but we actually don't see the material here as a useful fiber, even though there's so much of it.
This is going to sound bad, but it sounds disgusting. The idea of using human hair as a fabric. I mean, what has inspired you to take this road? I mean, I know we need new materials. The fashion industry has been exploring various things like mycelium and so forth. But what inspired you to go down this road?
Good question. You're not the first person that thinks it's disgusting, because when it's off your head, you often think let's get rid of it. Though I looked into it and I found out that there's so much of it. It's roughly in the UK there's 6.5 million kilograms of waste each year, and that's actually increases because the world population keeps increasing. So that's kind of a fun fact, that it's one of the natural resources that actually increases, whereas all the other ones decrease. And looking at the characteristics, it actually has really good properties. So it's high in tensile strength, it's really lightweight, it's a good thermal insulator. That's why we actually have hair. But it's also elastic. Like, all these different characteristics can actually mean something really useful for certain outcomes. Obviously, they would still need more research and investigation of how and where we use it. And we should just slowly start to get used to the fact we have to use different materials, and not a few materials that we're using at the moment. So sort of starting to see for different methods.
So for those who are curious about this, what is the process? I mean, how do you get from hair that is waste to fabric? I mean, how do you get there?
I basically used existing methods that have been done in different parts of the world already. So I used a waist, which can be quite short. It's actually between 2 and 6 centimeters long. And I used that and worked together with a spinner. The spinner spins it by hand into 2-ply yarn. So the fibers are actually twisted into each other into 2 yarns together. And with the yarn, I can then make ropes. And for the ropes, I use a rope machine, which is also based on a traditional rope making machine. Though I've developed my own machine, which is sort of easy to use, easy to reproduce as well. So other people can actually cut the machine themselves, and it's easy to transport. So it's sort of trying to inspire other people to maybe do the same process. Though even with the yarn, you can also do other methods. So with the yarn, you can knit, or you can braid, you can weave it. But for the moment, I've mainly focused on making ropes.
I'm curious, can this be done with Afro hair?
Yes. Question is yes. Answer is yes. Though there's different, when I was doing my research, there's different characteristics in different types of hair. So looking into the ethical background, there's actually different properties to it. So for example, Asian hair is stronger than Afro hair, and Afro hair grows slower than Caucasian hair and Asian hair. So all these different characteristics are trying to sort of divide into different outcomes in a way as well. So with the bags that I've created earlier, I mainly wanted to use Asian hair because that was the strongest type of all types. Though it's not always the case, because it's also depending on people's diet, on the environment, on the climate where they live in. So there's many other factors that have an influence on the healthiness of the fiber. So it's not just ethical background, but the ethical background definitely has an impact. An effect on the properties of it. But yeah.
And when I was looking around Sustainable Innovations, I noticed that you've created a few products. It's quite interesting. She's created a belt out of hair. How are people receiving these products at the Keyhouse?
It looks actually quite well. People are really excited to see how these, it's kind of funny because people don't initially know what it's made of. So they're excited to see the products and feel the objects. And actually, once I start to engage with them and tell them how it's made, and then at the latest tell them what it's made of, they're all very surprised. There's kind of a fun way that people don't really expect it. And I feel like that's kind of how you get people over the edge. Not to trick them, but more as in you first appreciate a material by the look and by its function, and then you kind of find out what it's made of. And it's still really relevant, but people that shouldn't really have an effect on the product itself. So it's kind of a different way of engaging the public, and everyone seems to be inspired.
So what about the fashion industry? Have you collaborated with anybody? Do you want to collaborate with anybody to kind of show them how this could potentially be a material that we can all adopt?
Yeah, good question. I haven't collaborated necessarily with a fashion brand or another fashion designer, though I'm really interested in looking into more textile outcome. So whether that will be clothing or maybe some more interior design products. But I feel like it still needs a bit more improvement on the hair or the yarn or the way it's weaved, the way it's braided, the way the ropes are made. And that's probably because human hair, the fiber itself is quite coarse. So if it touches the skin, it can be quite prickly. So therefore that's why we use also other materials at the moment. But I feel like if we sort of improve the way we use the human hair, we can actually look into these outcomes. So I know another fashion designer that actually has used the hair and weaved it, but only used it long fibers. So I want to see how we can still tackle the waste problem and use short fibers and still create beautiful objects for either fashion industry or interior design industry.
Before we finish, I would love to hear your thoughts on the Keyhouse. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's overall really inspiring. I haven't had a chance to engage with too many people yet because it's really fun to actually spend time with people and hear their stories. So it's hard to engage with everyone here, but overall I find it really inspiring and engaging because most of it is not just the product and it's not that obvious, but you want to hear more about it. So as a note for everyone, it's very inspiring to actually engage with the person that's behind it or the creator of it, and it's more about the process and the story and the origin and not just the object in front of you. So that's it.
Thank you so much.